Good morning, everyone. My name is Krunal Thakur, and today we are going to discuss one of the very important concept of geography, which is continental drift theory. So, in this theory, we will see some of the important aspect of this theory, which can be there in the examination. So, let's start. For geography, physical geography concern, in geomorphology part, we have some theories which are very important. One of the theories, continental drift theory, which is also called CDT. Another theory which is also very important is convectional current theory, which is helping to understand the continental drift theory. And then the next theory, which is given by Harry Hess, is sea floor spreading. And then we will see plate tectonic theory. And then finally we will see the theory which is called polar wandering theory, which is similar to continental drift theory. So let's begin with continental drift theory. So what is continental drift theory and who has given this concept of continental drift theory? So systematically, the first person who has given this theory is Alfred Wegener in 1912. So continental drift theory was proposed by German scholar and his name is Alfred Wegener in 1912. He is very famous scholar and he has given this theory. He suggested that Earth continents, we have seven continents and four major oceans on the surface of the Earth. We have the biggest continent is Asia, the smallest continent is Australia, then we have North America, South America, Africa, Europe. We have some continents, right? So Alfred Wegener said that on the surface of the Earth, we have many continents today, but they all continents were combined in the past. So Earth continents were once joined together in a single landmass and have slowly drifted apart over time. We have once biggest continent called Pangaea, and then it was broken, and then the parts of Pangaea was drifted apart. That is what is continental drift theory. Now you can see that diagrammatically you can see here we had Pangaea. Pangaea is supercontinent and all the continents are combined together like this. So this is Pangaea and we have combination of all the continents. So they are combining together. It is Pangaea. And then what happened? It was broken and drifted apart. So it is broken into two parts, northern part and southern parts. And then all the parts are moving, drifting. And then that is how all the continents are far from each other like today's world. Modern world is the example of the third stage. So this is the journey of continental drift theory. So continental drift theory is suggesting that what it's suggesting. Let's see. So key ideas of continental drift theory. What are the key ideas? The first key idea is Pangaea. Pangaea is nothing but a supercontinent, a continent. It says that around 300 million years ago, all the continents, take it North America, South America, Asia, Australia, all the continents were joined together in one supercontinent which is called as Pangaea supercontinent. Over time, Pangaea broke apart and continents slowly drifted to their current position, and that is how modern world getting created. 300 million years ago, this was the case. Pangaea was there. It was broken into many parts, and then all the parts are drifting. And today we have modern world which got created. This is the key idea. Now let's talk about breaking of Pangaea. So Pangaea first split into two parts. Like this is the Pangaea, and then it was broken into two parts, northern part and southern part. Northern part is called as Laurasia and southern part is called as Gondwana, like here. Like northern part is Laurasia and southern part is Gondwana. Then this landmass continued to break and drifted apart. Like this is the case. Like it continued to break and started drifting apart, forming today's continent, and that is how today's continents are formed. Now let's look at breaking of Pangaea. Continents are still moving. Like in today's world also, the continents are moving. Continents continue to move at a slow rate, but this movement is not noticeable. Why not noticeable? Because the movement is very, very slow, like few centimeter per year. due to the force inside the earth. Why it is moving? Because of the forces inside the earth. North America is moving, South America is moving, Asia, Eurasia is moving, Indo-Australian plate is moving. Like today also it is moving, but it is not noticeable. Why? Because the movement is very slow. It is few centimeter per year only. This movement is now explained by very scientific theory. Today's like most scientific theory is this plate tectonic theory. So this movement is further explained by the plate tectonic theory. So that's about breaking of the continents. Now let's look at some of the concepts. One is Pangaea, Panthalassa, Gondwana and Laurasia. Let's talk about this separately. So story begins like this. Millions of years ago, Earth continents were not separate as they are today. It was just one continent, one supercontinent. Instead, they were part of a single supercontinent surrounded by vast ocean. So on the surface of the earth, only one continent was there and it was surrounded by a huge ocean. Over time, this landmass broken apart, forming today's continents and ocean. This is the story. So in that, Pangaea is the supercontinent. Pangaea was supercontinent that existed about 300 million years ago, where all the continents were joined together as one massive landmass. So it was Pangaea. Time period when this Pangaea exists. So it exists during late Paleozoic and early Mesozoic eras. So it is a geological time scale eras. So it is 300 million years ago, and if you want to say the name, that is called late Paleolithic, late Paleozoic and early Mesozoic eras. In that time period, Pangaea was there. What is the meaning of Pangaea? The word Pangaea comes from a Greek language. It means all earth. Next is Panthalassa. Panthalassa is super ocean. You know, Pangaea was there, supercontinent is there, and it is surrounded by ocean. The name of that ocean is Panthalassa. So Panthalassa was a huge ocean that surrounded Pangaea. It was only ocean on earth at that time. At that time, only one ocean exists, and that the name of that ocean is Panthalassa. Today, it is called Pacific Ocean. Time period. So Panthalassa exists when Pangaea was intact before continents drifted apart. What is the meaning of Panthalassa? The word Panthalassa comes from Greek language again. It means all seas. Now let's talk about the two part of the Pangaea. One part is called Gondwana land and other part is called Laurasia. So we are talking about southern part, which is Gondwana. When Pangaea split around 200 million years ago, 300 million years ago, Pangaea existed. Now, around 200 million years ago, Pangaea split around. It broke into two major landmass. The southern hemisphere is called Gondwana land and the northern hemisphere is called Laurasia land. So in Gondwana included, the southern part included this and this continents today. It includes South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, India, Arabian Peninsula, all these continents and area included in the southern hemisphere of the Pangaea, which is called Gondwana land. Time period. So it existed before completely breaking apart into today's continent. So today's world is getting created. Before that, it existed. Now let's talk about northern landmass, which is called Laurasia. Laurasia was northern part of Pangaea after its split. Laurasia included North America, Europe and Asia except India, because India is included in the Gondwana land. So these are the area which are there in the Laurasia landmass. Time period like Gondwana, Laurasia also existed before breaking into separate continents. If you talk about Laurasia, 200 million years ago, it existed. Pangaea split into Gondwana and Laurasia. Over millions of years, Gondwana and Laurasia broke further into separate continents. And that is how today's continents are still slowly moving apart due to the plate tectonic, which we'll see later, plate tectonic theory. Now, these are the things that we have seen so far. So, key differences. What is Pangaea? Pangaea is supercontinent. It includes all the continents joined together. And time period is 300 million years ago. The next terminology that we have seen is Panthalassa. It is super ocean surrounded Pangaea. It is also existing in 300 million year ago. Next is Gondwana. Southern landmass. It includes South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, India. Its time period is 200 million years ago. And then next is Laurasia, northern landmass. North America, Europe, Asia, except India. Why? Because it is included in the Gondwana land. India here. And time period is same, 200 million years ago. These are the things that we have seen so far. Now, when Wegener proposed this theory, many objection came. To prove his theory, he has given some evidences. So let's look at evidence supporting continental drift theory. First evidence is fit of the continents. If you look at the world map, then you can see that many parts can be fitted together if you play the game called puzzle. Like here, like South America. Here it is South America and it is Africa, and in between them there is a huge ocean called Atlantic Ocean. And if you remove the ocean and if you combine both, they can be fitted together like this. So based on this, we can see that feet of the continents are there, and it can be possible that Pangaea existed before many years ago. So if you look at the map, South America and Africa seem to fit together like a puzzle. Other continents also show similar matching coastlines, and this factor prove the theory of continental drift theory. Next evidence is fossil evidence. So identical fossils of plants and animals, plants like Glossopteris and animals like Mesosaurus, Listasaurus, reptiles have been found on different continents which are far away today, and they suggest that they were once connected. It also proves the theory of continental drift theory. Next is rocks and mountain similarities. You can see like here North America, it is the mountain called Appalachian Mountain, and here European mountain. Some of the European mountains and Greenland mountains, they have similar rock structure, they have similar mountains. So they also show the evidence of this theory. So rocks and mountain similarities, it says similar rock formations in mountain ranges are found on continents that are now far apart. For example, Appalachian Mountain in North America match those in Greenland and Europe. It says that this mountain is matching this and this mountains. It means that they all were fitted together in the geological past. Hence, this theory is getting proved. That is continental drift theory. Next is climatic evidences. Glacier. What is glacier? Glacier is like snow mountain, and it can happen only during winter or during very cold season. So glacial deposits, trace of ancient glaciers, the deposits of glaciers are found in India, Africa and Australia, which are warm area. So it suggests that these lands were once closer to the southern pole, and because of the continent's drift, it drifted, and they are today located at different places. Fossils of tropical plants found in Antarctica also suggests that it was once a warmer climate, but Antarctica today is very cold climate. It means this climatic evidence also suggests giving evidence of continental drift theory. So these are the theories, and based on that, we can say that yes, it has some merit of proving. It is proving, these evidences are proving the continental drift theory. But where the weakness lies, so we will be talking about weakness of continental drift theory. The first question: why was Wegener's theory not accepted initially? Why he has to struggle? Answer is Wegener could not explain the forces that move the continent. He explained the continents are moving, but he was not able to explain the forces that move the continents. Why the continents are moving was not appropriately given by the Wegener. It was not proved. So what Wegener has given the explanation for the forces? forces proposed by Wegener for continental drift? Let's see. So Alfred Wegener proposed that continents drift across the Earth's surface. He said that continents are drifting, but he could not explain the exact force causing this movement. However, he suggested two possible forces that might be responsible for continental drift. Let's look at these two forces. So forces proposed by him, it was first force is centrifugal force, which is also called pole fling force, and second force that he has suggested was tidal force, which is gravitational pull of the moon and sun. These two forces Wegener has suggested to prove his theory. Centrifugal force, which is also called polar fleeing force. Let's understand this force. Wegener believed that Earth rotation, because of the rotation of the Earth, it generates centrifugal force that push the continents toward the equator. Hence, the parts of the continents are moving towards the equator. This force was supposed to explain why some landmass like India move northward. However, later studies show that this force was too weak to move the massive continent, and that is why he was not able to explain much in this context in this first force. Second force that he has explained is tidal force, which is nothing but gravitational pull of the moon and sun over the surface of the earth. Wegener suggested that gravitational force of the moon and sun cause continents to drift. He compared this force to the way ocean tide move due to the moon's gravity. He said that in the same way the ocean tide happened because of the moon's gravity, in the same way the continents are also moving. However, geologists later proved that this force was not strong enough to move the continents, and that is why he failed to show the forces behind continent drift. Why Wegener's forces were rejected? Scientists found that centrifugal and tidal forces were too weak to move the continents. Hence, second point is Wegener did not explain how continents flow through the ocean floor. But later, one scientific theory came which is called Plate Tectonic Theory in 1960s. It explained that continents move due to convection current in the earth mantle which push the tectonic plates. So because of the convection currents, the continents are moving, and now it is called tectonic plates in the plate tectonic theory. And this is the later explanation after continental drift theory. Why, which forces are responsible to move the continents? And the answer is, main answer is convectional currents. Future. What is the future of this theory? So later, plate tectonic theory in 1960 explained that the earth crust is divided into plates that move due to convection current in the mantle. That is the future of this theory. What are the significance of continental drift theory? So it helps in understanding the formation of continents and ocean, how the continents are formed, how oceans are formed. It helps to understand. It laid the foundation for modern plate tectonic theory. It explained why earthquake, volcanoes and mountain formation occur. So this was the continental drift theory, and that's all in this video. In the next video we will see the convection current theory. Thank you.